Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and that means tonight was Monday Night Raw. Now, as far as tonight's Raw goes, I thought it was a good show. I thought they started with a big, huge thing, and they ended it with a very interesting beat as far as the Finn Balor stuff does go. So like I said, overall, I thought it was a good show leading into the Royal Rumble, but we've also got Luke over here with us. Luke, what did you think of tonight's Monday Night Raw?
What's going on, everybody? I finally got my face cam to work in the audio as well. I know I had some issues with that on my computer for a while because I got a new computer recently, but all that's good. But I thought it was a good show. I wouldn't say it was a great show for like to go home for Rumble, but I thought it was decent. It went through good.
Yes.
But I just feel like as far as trying to like wrap things up for your go home Raw for the Rumble, it could have been better.
True. Now here's a question that I have that we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I kind of wanted to bring it up now. Have you ever heard back in the 20 something, almost 30 years of the Royal Rumble, probably 30 years of the Royal Rumble. I don't even know how long they've been doing the Royal Rumble. Have you ever heard someone go, I want to declare for the Rumble, and the authority figure tell them it's full? I've never heard that I can think of.
Nope. Never heard of that at all.
Finn said, I want to be in the Rumble. And Anna Pierce goes, oh, you can't. I filled it up. So what? Javon Evans took the last spot, or you gave the last spot to the Vision? Like, that's a weird one.
I gave the last spot to the Vision, here's what I could see actually at the Rumble. Like, let's say like someone's about to enter. Remember last year when Akira Tozawa was about to enter, then Carmelo Hayes attacked him from behind. We got ISHO speed in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
What if Finn Balor attacks somebody from behind? What if he attacks like a Javon Evans from behind, then enters the Rumble, takes Javon's spot?
I mean, didn't Nia do that to Truth and go into the men's Rumble a couple years back?
Yeah, I can see Finn doing something like that. He attacks somebody from behind and then takes their spot in the Rumble.
Now, I don't think they're going to do this. But, I mean, they probably would have announced it by now. And there's not enough time to really set this up. Finn gets Punk at the Rumble for the title. Just saying. I mean, that would be a logical...
Finn already got a title shot, though.
Right, but Punk's going to be pissed off that, Finn ruined his big match with AJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what are they going to do? Announce it on SmackDown and be like, yeah, Finn's getting another title shot?
I don't know. That's why it's like there's kind of not enough time. And I doubt, when's Chamber in Chicago? February
28th.
That's what I thought. That's kind of a little far off to, build. Well, how many Raws would that be? One. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. That'd be 4 weeks to build. Yeah, no, that'd be a little far, in my opinion. Like a little long in the tooth to drag it out. So I don't know. I don't know where this Finn stuff leads to. I assume, I guess, maybe just another match on Raw. If anything. But we'll get into all that and more from tonight's Monday Night Raws. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either hit that donate button down below, or by being like Esports Gaming Rules or Muscle Man and donating bits in the live chat to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. Also, remember, you can support the channel one of two different ways: by subscribing to the channel either with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for 4 games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube with the subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos, when we go live, and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get access. You get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis. You can use in the live chat in the comments section, and you get access to our graphics packages. Also, thank you on Twitch. We got a hype train going right now, a level 1 hype train. Really do appreciate that. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air on YouTube, just like Jack Dawson, you can donate a super chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. The button's not working. Anyways, you can buy something, whether that's a new game, whether that's an old game, a free game, something for Fall Guys, Rocket League, or Fortnite. Use our code PW Unlimited. That's PWUNLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Let's get into some of these super chats and bit donations. Jack Dawson says, keep up the good work, Tim. This weekend, who you got winning the men's and women's Rumble, and what champions you and Luke see holding on till this year's Mania? So I'll let you take it first. Who do you think's winning the Rumble for the men and the women?
For the men, I'd probably go Braun Breaker. And then for the women, I honestly have no clue.
The women's so hard to predict right now.
Because like they're not really like pushing anybody on TV to like potentially win the Rumble.
Exactly.
That's the issue.
Exactly.
I mean, one person I could potentially see, like if Tiffany Stratton returns, I could see her winning it and challenging Jade for the belt.
Well, if you want to go that route, the winner gets Jade, Jordan Grace, maybe. But Braun Breaker, I think, for the men for sure.
I don't know. Don't you think it'd be too early for Jordan Grace though?
But if you want to make the fans, if you want the fans to think she's a big star, go for it. I mean, they pushed Asuka in that first women's Rumble after she hadn't been on the main roster for that long.
Yeah, but she had an undefeated streak already.
True.
So you kind of had to.
She had that run.
So you kind of had.
Yeah.
You kind of had to give it to her because, like, if she got eliminated, people would think, like, oh, she lost. She lost.
Yeah, she had that amazing run in NXT. So that does make sense, I guess. I don't know. I see them doing so. They're doing something with Jade and Jordan Grace, which I love. So we'll see where that leads to. But I think it's just wide open for the women. Now, the big thing is, I think, and they've teased this. They've teased doing things with Liv and Raquel. So what if Liv wins the Rumble, Raquel wins the belt next week against Stephanie in the street fight, and then it's Liv and Raquel for the belt at WrestleMania?
Maybe.
Which that does go to our second part of the question. Who do you think holds the titles till Mania? Do you think Stephanie McMahon is still the champion at WrestleMania or somebody else? I think Drew is the one who you can say for sure holds the title to Mania, and most likely Punk.
Yeah, them two for sure. I think Jade probably holds it till Mania. I really want Stephanie McMahon to hold it till Mania because one match I do really want to see is McMahon versus Rhea Ripley.
That'd be nice. We have some.
But I don't know if we really need Rhea Ripley to compete for like another the world title again at Mania because she's done it for like the past few years already.
Exactly. But looking at the
it's like do something new almost, but
as we look at the bit donations here, we have one here that says from Esports Gaming Rules, did you hear the recent reports that the Hollywood Reporter that WBD is co-owner of AEW, even with the whole bidding war over WBD between them? So this is something we've kind of known, that it's not that that WBD is a quote unquote co-owner of AEW. That would mean like they own 50% or something. They have a very, very minority stake in the company, which, because it doesn't have to be public, since WBD is a publicly traded company, it means they own less than 10% of AEW. You can't call that co-owner. They just own a percentage of AEW, which is under 10%. Again, if it was 10% or over, they would have to disclose that in SEC public filings. And because they haven't, it tells you right there that it's under 10%. So with that, the Hollywood Reporter did state that those rights would stay with whatever the new WBD company is going to be. Like Netflix gets WBD as far as they want the studios and stuff, they wouldn't get the rights to AEW. So there's nothing to really see there. It's something that everyone's predicted since like they started on TNT. And every time Tony's asked, hey, does WBD have any leverage in the company, any stake in the company? And Tony never says yes or no. He just says, I have final say. So Yeah, there's nothing to that really. Esports Gaming Rules also says, I got my mom's house every other weekend, even on Thanksgiving. I go to my mom's house every other weekend, even on Thanksgiving and Christmas. So when I go back to my apartment, I watch Royal Rumble Riyadh on demand on ESPN to watch the whole show. Then watch UFC from Australia. Watch Volk on Paramount Plus. Yeah. So did you see any of the UFC on Paramount Plus last week, Luke? This past weekend?
A little bit, yeah.
Did you see how they opened the show?
No.
So you remember what Triple H did on the first Raw on Netflix, the very beginning of the show?
With with those like curtains with the videos on it.
UFC, I don't think they had videos on it, but UFC did the same thing where they had big curtains around the octagon and the cage, and then they dropped it, and then Buffer was like, "Welcome to the inaugural UFC 3 on Paramount Plus." I'm like, oh, it took Triple H's idea.
Yep.
But hey, it was an okay UFC. I watched the majority of it. Main event kind of saved the show. But shout out Dominic Cruz going in the Hall of Fame. Very deserving there. And then Volkanovski's fighting this weekend. I didn't know it was from Australia. But yeah, really cool to have UFC on Paramount Plus because I get Paramount Plus for free through Walmart Plus. Pay that $12. They give you Paramount Plus. Actually, you get to choose if you want Paramount Plus or Peacock. I chose Paramount Plus. And the only thing that I noticed watching it on Paramount Plus compared to like ESPN is there was way more commercials between rounds. It was like when they were do the fight night shows on TV and they'd have the commercials between rounds. It was like that. So it wasn't like when it's on ESPN Plus and there was really no ads between the rounds during the fight. So that's one thing. Paramount's trying to get their money back because they paid a lot for this stuff. Muscle Man also sent a bit donation, says, what is some Mania matches you guys want to see? And also, who do you think wins the Women's Rumble? So we already kind of talked about the Women's Rumble. Kind of wide open right now. My predictions live. But as far as Mania matches do go, I had a fantasy booking prediction on the SmackDown show. I don't know if you guys heard. And I doubt they do this, especially since I think Braun Breaker wins the Rumble. Cody wins the Rumble. Jacob Fatu wins the Chamber. Cody already says, I want Drew at Mania. Jacob Fatu then wins the Chamber and goes, I don't care if I'm supposed to get CM Punk. I want Drew, and they make it a triple threat. But regardless, I think that's one match we could be getting at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre defending against both Cody and Jacob Fatu.
I think we do get that. That's actually a pretty interesting idea. Like Cody wins the Rumble, and Jacob Fatu like wins the Chambers. Like I want Drew as well.
I was trying to. So when I did the SmackDown review, I was trying to think of a way to get to the main world title matches at Mania that they haven't done before, and they've never had both the Rumble and the Chamber winner want the same guy. Because usually it's, you know, the Rumble winner picks who they want, and then the Chamber winner is for the other belt. But what if the Chamber winner that's supposed to be for the other belt says, no disrespect, but I don't want that belt. I want the other guy, even though he's already got a match. You know what I mean? That's how you get to a triple threat. Unlike, was it WrestleMania 24 when John Cena got his match, a pay-per-view early, and then they ended up him, Randy, and Triple H at WrestleMania. So, I mean,
yeah, no, because it was 2008. Mm-hmm. Cena won the Rumble. And then I guess he eliminated Triple H, and then it was still a triple threat.
Well, no, because remember, he was supposed to get the title match against Randy at Mania, and he's like, I don't want to wait. And they did the title match at No Way Out. And then that led to the triple threat at Mania.
How did that lead to a triple threat?
I don't remember, but I just know that's what they did because I just remember the whole buildup of Cena's getting his Rumble match early, or his world title match early in No Way Out. Actually, 2 years in a row, Cena was in a triple threat for the world title. Or a world title, because then the next year, wasn't it him, Edge, and Big Show at 25?
It was him, Edge, it was him, Edge at Big Show at 25, because that year Randy won the Rumble and he challenged Triple H.
Yep.
That was the same year where like Triple H broke into Randy's house.
Oh yeah.
And then
everyone was up in arms about Randy's fake wife. Couldn't even use his real wife.
That was his fake wife?
They got some actress or whatever, some extra to play the wife. It wasn't even his real wife at the time. Not his current wife. It was his ex-wife, but still.
I remember that was his ex-wife and they divorced, but I didn't know that was like wasn't his wife.
Yeah, no, that was some just girl they had play Randy's wife, sitting there on the couch screaming, "Oh, he's breaking in," or whatever she said.
Well, that was also the same Mania where like Cena picked up both Big Show and Edge for the attitude adjustment that people were like freaking out about.
That's how I remember for sure that it's WrestleMania 25, because I just remember Cena picking them up and it's just all the lights were around were like blue and stuff, and the colors that year were silver and blue.
And he also had that entrance where like he had like a bunch of people like dressed like him doing that.
Yeah, the clones of him down the ramp on either side. Yep.
Yeah.
But what's one big Mania match you would like to see for this year?
Well, I know I do want to see the triple threat. I mean, do you think if they do that, that'll be like the main event of night 2, or do you think if Braun Breaker wins the Rumble, he's going to challenge Punk for the world title, and that'll be the main event of night 2?
Oh, that's a tough one. Ooh. Which world title main events night 2? Because as I always say, and I don't care what anybody wants to say against this, night 2 main event is the real main event. So it's like you're in the night 2 main event, you're the top dogs. I don't know. I just feel like,
well, last year, like I remember like Punk saying like, yeah, main event night 1, but people keep saying that wasn't the real main event. So now I got a main event night 2. So that way people think I actually main event in Mania.
I think last year helped as far as it being the triple threat with Roman, Punk, and Rollins, helped legitimize the night 1 main event a little more with it being those big 3 names. So it's not, I don't feel like as big of a difference. So it can go either way. I guess you do Cody on night 2 because he's the biggest draw you've got. Even though Drew is killing it right now. But yeah, Drew, Cody, and Jacob, if that's the way they go for Mania main event, night 2. Like I would say maybe like a women's match can main event night 1, but I just have no idea what direction they're going with the women. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just feel like how they've been booking the women has been like very lackluster.
Oh, very much.
Like I forgot Jade was the women's champion. I forgot Julia was the women's United States champion. I mean, Stephanie Vicura, they really haven't done anything with her as the women's world champ.
Well, see, Julia just won the belt back from Chelsea like 2-3 weeks ago.
But even when she had the first time, like they did nothing with her.
Yeah, that's true.
They have Kiana James with her, which is terrible. Which I feel like the only reason why they have Kiana James with her is because of like Julia's like can't really speak English that well.
Right. Even though the funniest part of all of that, the whole can't speak English that well. And then you have Asuka on Raw, who's cutting all of her promos in Japanese, but actually speaks basically perfect English. That's the funniest part of all of that.
Probably why. I think it's just because like her best work is like as a heel is like speaking in Japanese.
Yeah.
So I think that fans do actually like that, but I think maybe from WWE standpoint, for like Julia's sake, they know because like she can't even speak proper English.
Right. Eastwood's Gaming Rules also says, will we see the official WrestleMania Riyadh promo at the Royal Rumble Riyadh? I mean, I don't know what you mean by official promo. We've already gotten like little videos and snippets and stuff promoting it already. But yeah, we'll get some sort of a big promotional beat, I would assume, at the Rumble. Hey, don't forget, next year we're coming here with the Rumble. So, and we're going to get 3 Saudi Arabia pay-per-views this year anyways. We're going to get the Rumble. We're going to get Night of Champions, and then probably Crown Jewel. And then we go next year, and we're probably going to get Mania, and then the Crown Jewel show in 27. Muscle Man says, do you think...
I really want to go to this year's Mania so bad, but I can't. It's my grandma's birthday that weekend.
Ooh, dang.
So it's like, crap, I can't. And I'm not going next year. I'm not traveling to Saudi Arabia next year for Mania.
Muscle Man says, do you think WWE Unreal is bad for WWE because of them revealing all the backstage secrets? And also, do you think NXT needs more star power? So the first part, do I think Unreal is bad for WWE? No, not at all. because it's actually the perfect time to be doing a show like this because all these things get leaked out anyways. The worst part is when everybody knows something and then you still try to, like the Seth Rollins thing. Everyone knew that it was fake, but they're trying to say, we worked everybody on Unreal, which I don't know. What do you think of Unreal?
I think it's cool for like fans like to get like see that backstage stuff. But here's the worst part for WWE because I know a lot of people have been like clowning like Road Dogg for all of his stuff on Unreal. I don't know if you've seen those tweets.
He kind of contradicted himself. He contradicted himself a little bit.
Then people saying that LA Knight, people are feeling bad for LA Knight because saying that he made that one mistake at Money in the Bank, and everybody's feeling bad for him because they're saying like, well, it still turned out fine.
Yes,
anyway,
it was more than one mistake. They literally, him and Seth changed the finish that Triple H told him to do. They literally did a completely different finish. So I don't know.
I mean, did you see what Devon said about it? He said
no. I saw that I saw he made a video about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
I think he said that like it's bad because like the backstage stuff should be like secret and not like shown into a TV documentary.
No, I get that. I get it. And everyone's going to have their own opinions about it, and everyone's opinion is going to be different or whatnot and the same a little bit, but I like it.
I mean, it's making WWE money, though. I'll say that. It's making them a lot of money.
Unreal? How so?
I think so. Like, I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people watch it because they want to see, like, the backstage stuff or, like, what the original plans were. I know. So here's another bad thing. When they were talking about, like, what the original plans were for stuff, like, it'll make people are going to, like, trash and be like, oh, you could have done this, which was so much better than what you, like, originally did.
See, as far as, because you said, it's making them a lot of money, it's not anything extra from their current deal. Because when they announced the Netflix deal, it was Raw every week and other potential content on Netflix as well. So it's all lumped into the same deal. It's not like, oh, Netflix came to them afterwards and said, let's do this reality show and paid them extra. It's all lumped into the same money deal. Also, he says, do you think NXT needs more star power? Yes. That's why I thought Hobbs, or should I say Royce Keys, should have gone to NXT even just for a little bit, but they're going to bring him straight to the main roster. We'll see if he debuts in the Rumble or not. Obafemi is making his main roster debut. Well, debut in the Rumble. His actual main roster debut was at Saturday Night's Main Event, but they said tonight, Obafemi in the Rumble.
I don't know. I feel like Royce Keys should probably start out in NXT for a little bit. I just don't know what they're going to do with him on the main roster. I just hope, this is kind of my fear with them putting him on the main roster. I just hope they don't use him as like an extra guy in the group or like somebody's muscle.
Right. I was thinking the same thing. And they've wanted Hobbs for years, apparently. That's the rumor and the reports going around. It's like they've been watching him and waiting for his contract to come up for years.
I wonder who else from AEW might take that jump to WWE. If there's
I'm trying to think anytime soon. I'm trying to think whose contract is coming up, and let me see something. I can look, see if we know anything. Let's see.
I know Samoa Joe said once his contract is up with AEW, he's retiring.
Yeah. AEW.
Which I'm curious to see what Samoa Joe would do next once he retires. Probably just more acting or voice acting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. More acting, especially if they get that. I think they're doing the 3rd season of Twisted Metal. He was great in that show. Let's see. Whose contract? Oh, Danhausen. I can see Danhausen. He'd be perfect for NXT. His contract's supposed to be
like a comedy wrestler?
Yes, his contract's supposed to be up in February, and there have been slight interest from WWE and Danhausen. But as far as other people whose contracts are coming up, Kip Sabian's contract is coming up in the summer. And he actually is somebody that I think would do really well in NXT.
You do well in NXT. I just don't know how you would do on main roster, which I feel like that's how a lot of these wrestlers are, because they're like, we would do really well in NXT, but like, how do we be used on like the main roster?
Or you just keep him in NXT and make him like Alexis King. Alexis King, I don't see him coming to the main roster, but thriving in NXT and doing good things there. So maybe Kip Sabian can be one of the guys that they bring to NXT to like help.
Okay, here's my problem with Lexus King and how they're using him.
Go for
So
it.
do you watch TNA with the whole like NXT like trying to be like a dangerous threat to TNA?
Not every week, but I try to keep up with it.
So it's like Lexus King, Channing Stacks, and like two other people are trying to run Roughhouse in TNA. Right. And then they're trying to make them like feel like a real threat in TNA, but in NXT, they got Lexus King losing a lot of matches. So like, how can you really make this guy feel like a dangerous threat?
Exactly.
If he's losing every freaking match, in NXT.
I thought the same thing. But as far as like, who else, that Britt Baker contract's supposed to be up by the end of the year. Maybe even like fall time. They'd be dumb not to try to get her.
I don't know. Like, I feel like Britt Baker's probably just ready to be done with AEW.
I don't know what's going on with her in AEW. Nobody knows. That's the weird thing. Nobody knows, and Tony won't say anything other than they'd love to have Britt back at some point. Like, it's not his call.
Like, he said the same thing about Ricky Saints when Ricky Saints was in AEW. Like, we love to have him back at some point.
He's also said the same thing about Jericho. We love Jericho here in AEW, and we'd love to work with him more in the future. But I think
I don't know what's going on with Jericho. I know Jericho's going to be traveling with Fozzy in February.
Jericho going to be at Rumble this weekend. I think so. FIFO report is that they're going to fly people out late. Like, everyone's leaving. The regular roster is leaving tonight. Like, as soon as Raw's over, like, they're probably headed to an airport right now. And all the surprises are supposed to fly out later this week, hopefully to not be spotted at any airport or anything. So we'll see what that means. Maybe that's a Hobbs. Maybe that's a Jericho. What other surprises could we get? That's all that I can think of right now, Hobbs and Jericho.
You think we get like a Mr. Iguana?
There's a really good chance on that. But I don't see that being like a super secret. Like, you can just fly him with the rest of the crew. Like Ethan Page, his face is on the big ass billboard poster wall thing. Same with like Thea Hale and Tatum Paxley. So they're probably in the. There's a chance they're in the women's rumble and Ethan Page is in the men's rumble.
Oh, for the past 2 years, we haven't really seen any like male NXT wrestlers in the men's rumble. We've seen plenty of NXT women in the rumble, but not any like male NXT wrestlers in the rumble.
I think we finally got a good crop of like solid men on the main roster now, so where we don't need the NXT names, and maybe throw one in there if that. So I just think that was the fact of you had all these big name NXT guys that they wanted on the main roster, and they were using the rumble to like gauge their what's the word I'm looking for? Stardom, I guess you would say. Well, let's see if we got any more bit donations before we go into Raw. One last one here from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, how will Io Sky react now that Evil is coming to WWE? She seems to be happy now. Well, what do you mean happy now? Io always comes off as someone that's happy. I mean, I don't see any difference in her on TV. But New Japan did confirm that Evil is leaving. They did not say he's going to WWE, but the rumor is Evil's going to WWE.
I know I kind of messaged you about that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense because they want, you want to keep Io happy. I mean, even though she's happy right now, you want to keep her even more happy by signing Evil.
Here's the question.
I mean,
though.
I think I saw this tweet actually.
Go for it.
I saw someone tweet saying like, "What if they did like Evil versus Solo Sikoa, where the winner gets to be like the leader of the MFTs?"
Be interesting.
So like, what if Evil is like? I mean, it'd be kind of cool because like they're all like former New Japan guys.
Yes, but the whole thing with the MFTs is it's Solo's family, other than JC Mateo. So, I don't know.
Well, they're all kind of like honorary family at this point because they're not really related by blood.
Well, no, but they're all like, well, I mean, none of them are related by blood to The Rock. So, that's a thing. None of them.
Even Solo?
No. The Rock is not related to any of the Anoa'i. They're all just in the same Samoan tribe, and The Rock's grandfather trained, Afa and Sika, who then trained all the other ones. So that's how they're all technically related, because it's tribe, Samoan tribe. Like Rock and Roman are not blood relatives. Roman and the Usos, yes. Because Roman and Rikishi are direct cousins, and then Roman and the Usos are technically second cousins. But it's a whole thing. No, there is one. I think Rock is Rock blood related to Nia? How's Nia fit into all this again? I think Rock might be blood to Nia. Something like that. I got to look at the family tree again. We got to find that. It's a whole convoluted thing because it's not really family blood.
Wait, who's the
who?
Who was like the head of it? Was it Islander Tama?
Well, no, it was Peter Maivia, The Rock's grandfather. His mom's dad kind of ran the whole thing. Was in charge of the tribe and all the wrestlers. Trained Afa and Sika, Roman's dad and uncle, and then they started training others under them. So that's how it all goes.
All passed away, right?
Yes.
Who was Islander Tama then? Like,
isn't that? No, that's not Jacob's dad, is it?
I just remember Islander Tama from like the 2K showcase mode.
Oh, is that?
He was also a Sam Fatu. He was Sam Fatu.
Yeah, Sam Fatu. So that's Jacob Fatu's dad.
He's still around?
I mean, alive?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still alive. That's
and there was
Jacob's dad.
There was Haku. Wasn't he like in a tag team with Haku?
Yep. Sam Fatu and Haku were in a tag team. Haku is the dad of Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and Tala Tonga. And then JC Mateo doesn't fit into any of it, but they're like, oh, you're a Samoan. Let's just throw you with all these guys. That's the one that doesn't fit. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, last I heard, Sam Fatu's still alive, living in San Francisco and Bay Area.
I don't know. Here's my like fear with all this, with the whole MFT, is because like eventually they're gonna have to break them all up. You can't really keep them around forever.
True.
You gotta break them all up at some point. And like, what are you gonna do with like guys like JC Mateo or Tala Tonga?
Make them
like they're gonna do nothing with.
I mean,
they're gonna do nothing with JC Mateo as a singles guy. I can tell you that one.
Probably not, but I mean, him and Tala Tonga would make a great tag team together. Or you just
like Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. Like, I mean,
just let Tama Tonga be
his own guy. Tangaloa.
I just wish they would let Tama Tonga be New Japan Tama Tonga, like heel Bullet Club New Japan Tama Tonga, because like he's great. Like he's, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, and it's not because they both use the RKO style move. I always thought that like when you look at who's the Randy Orton of New Japan, it was Tama Tonga. They've got the same kind of like sleek, cool charisma, and they kind of wrestle similar-ish. So it's like Tama Tonga could be a big star if you just let him be himself, and not this whole Donnie Thornberry kind of whatever. And he's not even doing that as much anymore either. So he's even lost that cool thing that they had him doing. But yeah, no, I've always been a huge Tama Tonga fan. Yeah, I've always been a huge Tama Tonga fan. Like he was one of my, like him and Shibata were my favorite wrestlers in New Japan for a while.
My favorite was always Okada and Kenny.
Let's see if we have.
Yeah, I started becoming a Jay White fan whenever he turned heel, though.
But Jay White's great. Oh, I did miss one.
Jay White. I really hoped, like whenever like Kenny was leaving New Japan, I really hoped that Wrestle Kingdom they could have done Kenny versus Kota Ibushi for the world title.
That would have been great.
That would have been. I feel like that should have been like Kenny's like final match in New Japan during that time.
Okay, Arthur says Rock and Nia are first cousins. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. So they're blood. Rock and Nia are blood. Also, I did miss 1-bit donation. Something you talked about before we went live. Esports Gaming Rules says, I can't believe we are getting 4 versions of WWE 2K26. GOAT WWE video game coming. You mentioned that. When have we ever gotten 4 different versions of 4 covers?
Yeah. You don't need 4. I thought we would have just gotten just like the 2 the Attitude Era, the WCW one, and
the Monday Night Wars.
Just a regular.
Yeah, I was shocked.
The Monday Night Wars, and then like maybe just like a standard edition.
I was shocked when they announced the Triple H one because we're going to get CM Punk on the cover of standard. Then we got the deluxe edition, which is the King of Kings edition with Triple H. Then we've got the Attitude Era edition, which has got a bunch of people on the cover. It's got, let's see if I can think of all these names. It's off the top of my head. We got China. We've got
Undertaker, Kane, Kurt Angle.
Mm-hmm.
People they should have put on there was like Stone Cold's on there.
Stone Cold, yep. China, Lita, the Dudleys.
4 people they should have put on there was. They should put it on there, but it's obvious reasons they can't. Could have been like Edge, Christian, and the Hardys.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the WCW, WWF Monday Night.
Oh yeah, Mick Foley was like a big one.
Foley said he wants nothing to do with WWE right now. So whether he was going to be in the game or not, he's not anymore.
He's not going to be in the game, obviously. But
no, I don't know if he was going to be, but he's not now. But then we have the Monday Night Wars edition. Go for it.
He probably could. I don't know. Was he in the game last year?
I believe so. Yeah. But then we have the Monday Night War edition where it's Austin, Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, Kurt Angle and China, Hogan, Hall, Nash, Goldberg, Booker, Eric Bischoff. Interesting they put Eric Bischoff on the cover. He'll be in the game as a manager again. He's been in there. Use him as GM. So, Esports Gaming Rules. I think you asked this question on Saturday, and I already answered this. What do you think of WWE referencing New Japan and AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at Saturday night's main event? It ain't the first time. When AJ made his WWE debut, JBL literally said, former IWGP heavyweight champion, just like Brock Lesnar. So it's nothing new with AJ and Nakamura mentioning New Japan. They literally mentioned New Japan in AJ's first entrance in WWE.
Well, when Tama Tonga made his debut, they mentioned him being like a former IWGP
they say
tag
it all the
champion
time.
with Tonga Loa.
They said it on Saturday or Friday when him and Solo won the tag titles. They're like Tama Tonga, 7-time champion, 7-time tag team champion in New Japan. Like they said it on SmackDown. It's nothing new. And think about this. You could say, oh, it's a Triple H thing. Triple H lets him say it now. Who was in charge when AJ made his debut? And JBL said, former IWGP heavyweight champion, same as Brock Lesnar. Vince was in charge then. So, yeah, it's nothing new. But we're 30 minutes into this. We're 40 minutes. Well, we're about 30 minutes into this, and we got to talk Raw. Oh, no, we're 40 minutes into this. Now I'm looking at the right thing. Yeah, we're 40 minutes into this dang show. Anyways, so they kick off Raw immediately by showing us the big-ass stadium they're building in Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble, which is crazy that they did this in like 3-4 weeks. We see Stephanie Vaquera, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, the Vision all enter the building. Michael Cole tells us we're at the Scotiabank, and it's sold out with 17,853. The show then kicks off with the phenomenal AJ Styles and a huge ovation from the crowd. He said Gunther claimed that he would end his career at the Rumble. That was Gunther's plan. And, you know, it's AJ's plan too, I think, according to Nakamura. You see what Nakamura posted by accident yesterday?
Oh, yeah, the text or something.
Diary entry, the little blog post. Basically said...
Which I think...
Go for it.
Go for it.
No, I was just going to... If anyone didn't see it, it basically said... Actually, I can pull up the exact quote. But what it said was... I'll read it here. There's more to this, but this is just the important stuff. During last year's Australia tour, at a house show in Melbourne, Australia, AJ gave a speech after the match. Listening to it, it was clear he was thanking the fans. But somehow, it also felt like he was hinting that retirement might not be far away. The tour continued to Japan, and before the show there, I asked him something. We were in a van on the way to a meet and greet. I asked him, quote, when are you going to retire? He answered, quote, the Royal Rumble. I've already decided. According to Nakamura, AJ's had it in his mind that this weekend's his last weekend, Royal Rumble, and it makes a lot of sense, you know. Debuted at the Rumble, so end your WWE career at the Rumble. But go for it.
I mean, it would make sense for AJ to retire at the Rumble because, like, if you think about it, 10 years ago he made his debut at the Rumble, so it kind of makes sense if he like retired at the Rumble. Which
the only thing that sucks about this, sorry to cut you off. The only thing that sucks about this is now they're doing the whole AJ wants all these big matches with guys before he retires, and he's going to retire this weekend and not get any of them big matches. And they couldn't have done this prior because they were doing the John Cena retirement tour. So it couldn't have done the John Cena and the AJ Styles final matches retirement thing simultaneously, I don't think. So, yeah.
I mean, I know like Gunther like retiring AJ with the whole like making him like the biggest heel right now in all of WWE right now. I just really wish AJ's final match would be against Finn Balor.
That would be
like
great.
A perfect final match for AJ.
And it kind of hinted that they're going to do something with him and Finn. I mean, the close of tonight's show, Finn screwed him out of the world title.
What if they did him versus Finn on SmackDown?
That'd be an interesting move. I didn't think about that. Interesting. But speaking of AJ comes down to the ring and he's talking about Gunther, and Gunther's plan is to end his career, and the crowd's kind of chanting, fuck you, Gunther. Styles acknowledged that 2026 would be the year that he retires. He wasn't saying that to upset anybody, but it's just what's going to happen. That John Cena showed him how he could say goodbye. 2025 was Cena's year. There's no reason 2026 can't be his. Yeah, there is a reason it can't be yours when you want to end it at the beginning of the year. Like, come on, AJ. Don't be saying you want to do a year-long retirement tour like Cena and then want to retire in fucking January. He says there were many men in the locker room that he wants to wrestle. He would love to have one more match with a lot of them. He also wanted to be a world champion one more time, and out comes CM Punk. Punk said that he's known Styles for more than 20 years, and they've been friends and enemies, but there was nothing but respect between the two now. AJ agreed. Punk didn't understand what he was doing by putting his career on the line against Gunther. Guys like them still have a lot left in the tank, and the stakes on Saturday, they're just way too high. Styles accused Punk of thinking, well, he can't beat Gunther. Punk said, that's not what I'm saying. He knew Styles can beat Gunther. But the last time they wrestled, Styles did not get his hand raised. And if Styles did retire, that meant that the two of them will never get to wrestle again one-on-one or even at all in WWE one-on-one. They did have a three-way last year where Chad Gable was involved, so they never had a singles match before tonight. Styles knew what Punk meant, but thought that he was being a little disrespectful. Styles had an idea, though. How about we fight tonight? And then AJ said it kind of weird. He says, how about we fight tonight? And if I beat you and I get past the Royal Rumble and I still have my career, I challenge you for that belt. And Punk was like, I'll do you one better. How about I just give you a title shot tonight? You don't have to earn it and fight Gunther. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, CM Punk said, you guys want to see this? Me defend the world title against AJ Styles. Crowd went nuts. And basically the match was made. Then they told us during the women's six-person tag, hey, the match is official. But yeah, good segment between AJ and Punk. Two great talkers, two great pro wrestlers out there setting up for what was-ish kind of a great main event. What did you think?
That was good. I mean, I know I saw a few tweets predicting like what if the main event of Raw tonight was like before Raw even started, what if the main event was AJ versus CM Punk in an epic dream match?
It happened. Here's the thing.
It happened, but it ended in a DQ.
Here's my thing. AJ's kind of got to lose this weekend because you can't do the whole, I'll put my career on the line in January and then say later on in the year, put his career on the line again? Why? You know what I mean? It kind of just doesn't make sense to do it twice in 1 year. Put your career on the line. Unless, like we talked about last year. Go for it.
Unless they had AJ say, I want my last match at I made my decision. I want my last match to be like, let's say Mania, and I want to face you.
I mean, they could. AJ says, I finally made the decision on when my last match is going to be. But I don't know. It just feels weird to put his career on the line now when we know this is his final year. I don't know. But like we talked about.
Well, they could. I mean, what they could have done, maybe the Ric Flair route, be like,
Well, that's what I was
you're
about to
old,
bring
next
up,
match
yeah.
you lose. Next match you lose, you'll retire.
But I feel like that. How do you do that now without a heel authority figure that wants to get rid of him? You know what I mean? It worked fine when Vince was the heel authority figure and said, Rick, you're too old. Next time you lose, you're gone. And Rick ended up having some really good matches. Rick ended up having some really good matches, like with Carlito and Ken Kennedy.
I still remember the whole Ric Flair backstage thing with like Carlito. Because do you remember that?
The backstage thing? No, I remember their deal in the ring, the cabana.
There was a backstage segment that people still kind of talk about a little bit, because apparently during the 2000s when Carlito was in WWE, there were like those rumors that Carlito was lazy.
Oh yeah,
and like they did a segment where like Carlito was leaving the show early with some girl. Then Ric Flair like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Like, we're going out." It's like, there's a main event tonight where the number one contender is getting a world title shot, and you're not going to stick around and watch that. There's guys like trying to bust their asses like get to the top, and you're wanting to leave the show early and go party.
I don't remember that, but it makes a lot of sense. Rick would say something like that because Flair was always one of the guys that's like shows up early, stays till the end, and then goes out and parties all night.
You can try to find it, send it to you.
Gotcha. Moving forward, at a 6-woman tag team match with Stephanie Vicure, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky against the Judgment Day.
It was 2007. I think that's what was that the same year that Rick retired, 2007?
2008, but it was probably leading. It was probably part of the retirement tour thing because it bled in from 2007. He did have a match with Carlito.
I just sent it to you.
Gotcha. I'll check that out.
Hopefully this is the right. Hopefully this is the right one.
I know they had the Carlito's Cabana segment. I remember that one. But Vicure entered the ring for her entrance to an okay response from the crowd. It was kind of weird. Io did start the match off with Liv. Vicure then got tagged in, but didn't really get as big of a reaction as you would think until she went for the Devil's Kiss. Well, tried it, and it got broken up by Rodriguez, which upset the fans. Morgan had actually tagged out to Rodriguez moments earlier, but Vicure didn't see that. There's a couple of those spots with the blind tags and stuff. The referee did see it with Perez doing a little bit of distraction. And the Judgment Day really worked over Stephanie here for a while. Judgment Day then maintained control after a commercial break. Morgan then he yanked Sky off the apron, and Rodriguez attacked Ripley from behind. The referee was just fine with all this. Vicure finally did make a hot tag to Sky and hit Perez with an uppercut, flying dropkick, corner Meteora. Morgan then saved Perez from a moonsault, and Sky followed this up with the butterfly backbreaker. At one point, Sky made the next hot tag to Rhea Ripley, who gave Morgan a razor's edge into Rodriguez. Ripley then blocked the pop rocks and clobbered Perez with the clothesline. Ripley then followed this up with the missed dropkick to Rodriguez. Morgan then fought back after getting tagged in with a tornado DDT on Ripley, but Sky broke up the cover. Everyone then traded moves until Raquel wiped out. Vicure. I wrote that way wrong. Vicure wiped out Raquel, where she almost killed herself. Not really killed herself, but she got to the top rope, slipped, caught herself, and then did the big dive to the floor. Liv tried to go for the Oblivion, but Ripley blocked it. Perez then made a blind tag, and there was a combo move here, but Sky wiped everybody out, breaking up the whatever was happening. There was a lot of just convoluted stuff here. Ripley then finished off Perez with the Riptide and pinned her. So there we go. Corey Graves then mentioned Stephanie's still limping. Hopefully she's all right. I thought it was a fine match. It wasn't great. I mean, the match they had at Saturday Night's Main Event was not good, and this was maybe just a little bit better. What'd you think?
I mean, it was good. It was kind of just there to be on the show.
Say it again. Sorry, I had to take my headphones off for a second.
I mean, like it was good. I think it was kind of just there just to be on the show.
Yeah. So then they had a recap of CM Punk and Finn Balor from last week. Balor then approached Punk backstage. Balor initially seemed to be in a bad mood after coming up short last week, but then said that, Punk, you were involved in the most memorable night of my career. Punk then picked him up. Punk picked him up after the match and gave him his flowers. Balor didn't return the favor. Punk then thanked him too. Punk said that he couldn't be the best in the world without facing some of the best in the world and beating them, and he considers Finn one of the best in the world. He said, with Cena gone, there aren't many guys like us left. Punk advised him that maybe, if you want to get to this world title again, you drop the Judgment Day. You're never going to be a world champion hanging around guys like Dom Mysterio. Punk then said, you know what you should do? Go win the Rumble. Win the Rumble and challenge me. Fight me again. That's the only way you're going to get another shot. Punk left and Balor had this look on his face like, good idea. Like this fucker couldn't have thought on his own to enter the goddamn Rumble. Dumbass. They then showed us the Triple H 2K video. The Vision then enter. Paul Heyman did his usual bit, called Toronto a second-rate city, introduced every member of the Vision. There's a new, I didn't write it down. What did they call Austin Theory? He's got a new nickname. Do you remember?
Right.
I think it started with a P or something like that. Chat, let me know. What was that new nickname they gave Austin Theory tonight? Prophecy, something. I don't think it's that, but it's something.
He's the prophecy.
There was something. Paul Heyman gave him a new nickname, and Corey Graves mentioned it like 2 or 3 times in the Ray match. Oh, man, now it's going to bug me. Chat, what did they call Austin Theory tonight? I know someone will have it. Probably since Saturday. He's good with knowing stuff. Heyman noted that Braun Breaker was there because Adam Pearce wanted to see him face-to-face, but Heyman wanted to examine why this was even happening. Heyman showed the replay of Pearce putting his hands on Breaker first. Heyman then said that was not an appropriate behavior for a Raw general manager. Heyman also showed a replay of Rey Mysterio pinning Austin Theory last week after using the pressure Austin Theory. Thank you, Sin Saturday. I know he would have it. I knew he'd have it. They called him the pressure Austin Theory. Speaking of Austin Theory, they showed where Heyman said Adam Pearce planted the brass knuckles in the ring for Ray to use. That's not upholding of a general manager in his position. Pearce then finally came out. He admitted, things have gotten out of hand. And I did put my hands on Braun first. He apologized for it. Breaker laughed. Pearce then pledged to all of them it won't happen again. Pearce knew what Heyman was going to say next, and he already made it official. Braun, your suspension's up, and yes, you can be in the Royal Rumble. Heyman was happy and shook his hand. And then said, and Pearce said, you know what? How about I make y'all super happy? You, Logan Paul, you, Bronson Reed, you, Austin, you can all be in the Rumble as well. All 4 of you. Why not? Heyman was caught off guard by this, though. Pearce also knew that Theory felt cheated last week. Well, he's getting a match tonight with Rey Mysterio. So, it was a fine segment. Built up that all members of the Vision are in the Rumble, which there's even more to this later. And it set up Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio, even though they kind of did but didn't. What do you think of the segment?
I mean, the segment was good. I'm curious to know what the order is going to look like in the Rumble with all 4 members of the Vision being in it.
So they're teasing that they're all going to be in at the same time because later, Logan Paul's like, one of us needs to win the Rumble, one member of the Vision, and that should be Braun Breaker. Our goal should be to make sure Braun wins the Rumble. For Logan to say that was very interesting.
Gio would be cool if they did this. Remember last year, the first 2 were like Ray and Penta?
Oh, yeah. Do I ever?
What if this year they did Penta and Phoenix as the first 2?
Well, we don't know. Is Phoenix even in?
I mean, I'm sure he will be.
That'd be an interesting one. You could also do Penta and Dragon Lee.
I don't know. They need to use Phoenix better. They keep having this man take so many losses.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
They hyped him up so much, going in WWE. He was winning a few matches. Now they're just using him as a guy. Like, oh, we need someone to put on a good match. They're not going to win. Oh, Ray Phoenix.
I mean, If you got to push only one of the Lucha Bros, though, Penta's the one to push. He is the better of the two. Like, Penta's the better character and star. Phoenix is the better bell-to-bell wrestler, though.
Yeah. Well, Phoenix doesn't really have much of a gimmick, though.
Right.
That's the problem.
I mean, what's Penta's
At least Penta
gimmick?
has
He's cool.
Penta's gimmick. He just goes over with the whole Zero Miedo thing.
Oh yeah, he does have that.
Like Phoenix doesn't really have like or I guess he has like Animo.
Yeah, you know what helped Penta and the Zero Miedo though was goddamn Kittle. Because there's people that don't watch wrestling and have no clue who Penta is, but know what Zero Miedo is. Because Kittle does that when he gets touchdown.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Penta's like Kittle's favorite wrestler.
Oh yeah. Penta was at the 49ers game a couple weeks back. The one that Kittle got hurt at. I think Huey sent me a picture of him and Penta together.
Penta is someone I do want to meet, like, in person.
He just seems cool as hell.
He does.
He came off.
You know who was cool as hell when I met them? Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Matt Cardona was cool as hell.
Speaking of Penta, and then speaking of Unreal, Penta came off really good in Unreal. Where they talked about he had his like training gym in Mexico, and he's training the kids and stuff. That was really cool to see. But we had Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio. Theory had control early on with a chin lock. Got some heat by trying to rip at Rey's mask. Crowd didn't like it. The fight spilled to the outside, and Rey sent Theory into the ring post. At one point, coming off of commercial break, Rey went after Theory on the outside, and Theory dumped him onto the ring steps and placed him in another rest hold in the ring, just long enough to come back from that break we were in. Rey then tried a springboard crossbody, but Theory nailed him in midair with a forearm. And then what did they call his finisher? The ataxia or something like that? He did this like flatliner move, and they called it the ataxia, I think is what they called it. I don't know what the hell that is. But what's an ataxia?
It used to be called the 8-count down, I think.
That's the same move? The little flatliner deal?
Well, I think that was the 8-count down.
Might be the same move, yeah. Awesome Chuda, who said Rey's injured? Someone in the YouTube chat says, who's going to replace Rey if he's injured? What? Have you seen anything about this?
No, I haven't seen any of it.
Hold on, let's go to Twitter really fast. Rey Mysterio injured. I didn't see anything about Rey being injured. I know like they were checking on Rey after the match. But I didn't see anything about like Rey
did they
injured.
link the CM Punk cover?
I don't think that's real. Because if you look at the nose and his chest, it looks like AI. Okay, so the ref did throw up an X. I'm seeing here on Twitter. According to Corey Hayes of bodyslam.net, Rey Mysterio was legitimately injured and taken to the back by medical personnel. Okay. Interesting. That comes from, again, Corey Hayes of bodyslam.net. Rey Mysterio was legitimately injured and taken to the back by medical personnel. Let me see if I can find anything else really fast. Let's see if like Fightful or F4W Online has anything on Rey. I don't see anything from Fightful. Let's see F4W Online. Yeah, no one's. Oh, wait, here we go. From F4W Online, Brian Alvarez is confirming that Rey Mysterio was legitimately hurt during his match against Austin Theory on Monday's Raw. He finished the match, but didn't take part in the post-match beatdown that saw the Vision lay out Dragon Lee and Penta. Mysterio instead remained on the apron, favoring his shoulder as medical tended to him. The referee threw up an X. Okay, that sucks. That's bad. Oh no. Rey is injured. Again. This fucker was injured the night before Mania last year too. Now the freaking week of Rumble. Oy vey. Poor Rey.
He's getting injured like the worst moments.
Top WWE superstar hurt. Yeah, it really is. But as far as the match does go, I guess there's not much more to talk about here. Ray, let's see, Dragon Lee, where was I? So it looks like the spot that could have been where Ray got hurt hurt his shoulder. Austin Theory had him up in like an electric chair position. He went for the Hurricane Rana. Out of that, Theory went shoulder, gut, side first into the ring, like the apron, and Ray landed weird off of that. I just didn't think anything of it, but I did write in my notes. Ray does the Hurricane Rana, sends Theory into the ring, and lands weird on his side. But I think that might be the spot where Ray hurt himself, hurt his shoulder. So we'll see. Where was I? Theory did hit the ring with the curb stomp and pick up the victory later on. After there was a bunch of interference, Dragon Lee got involved, Logan Paul got involved, Reed got involved, and then afterwards, the Vision beat everybody down. And yeah, very interesting stuff here. Did not think Ray was actually hurt. I didn't see the ref. I noticed Ray didn't do anything post-match, but I didn't see the ref like throw anything up, but I guess he did. What are your thoughts on this, Ray being hurt again?
Sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully it's not like anything serious.
Right? Hopefully it's just hopefully it's the Javon Evans thing where last week they thought he really hurt his shoulder, but it was just like a little stinger or whatever, and he's fine. So,
I think I kind of met Rey Mysterio before.
Huh?
I think I did.
How?
Yeah, I kind of met Rey Mysterio. I was at SummerSlam and it was in Nashville, Tennessee. It was him and Dominic versus Finn and Damian Priest, and I think he just gave me a high five when Ray was going to like the backstage area.
Nice.
Like my seats were like, so like once like the wrestlers were done with the match, like they would like walk past like us to like go back to like Gorilla.
Mm.
So like everybody would like line up, try to get a high five for like everybody like walking back, and I think I got a high five by Ray.
Nice.
I got one from Bobby Lashley. I think that was it.
That's cool.
Pat McAfee was the only dude that didn't go back there.
Yeah.
My brother was pissed. Like everybody else is going back there, but except for freaking Pat McAfee.
So there's a Natalia video. She ain't Natalia no more. She's Natty. She talks about how she's the legend. And Maxine thought that she learned things rolling with the legend, but she didn't really learn anything. This is a whole new Natty. She talks about wanting to go after the IC title. And she said, quote, because Natalia elevates, but Natty decimates. She about beats some people's asses. I love this. I love this.
So you think they're using her like GCW gimmick almost?
It's what she's done outside of WWE and GCW for Bloodsport, and then I think she did the same gimmick in NWA. Should be cool. I'm excited. Hopefully they actually like do something with this, and it's not just like, oh, we'll use her sparingly every so often. Hopefully, like she gets ample television time with this character. Because if they let her do it right, it's going to be really good. So Raquel Rodriguez marched around backstage, loudly screaming for Stephanie. Bayley was nearby and called her an idiot because she was on the phone. She goes, hey, I'm on the phone. You're being too loud. Lyra then got between them. So Victoria continued on her way looking for Vakir. Byron Saxton then interviewed Javon Evans. Basically, he just said, yep, people thought I got hurt last week. I thought I got hurt. Maybe I was just a little overzealous and bouncy, but I'm fine. I'm good, cleared, and I'm going to be in the Rumble. So Javon Evans will be in the Royal Rumble. Then we got a sit-down interview. Michael Cole interviewed Gunther. Cole interviewed Gunther in the Toronto Raptors locker room. Gunther said that he agreed to Saturday's match because he had something to gain by ending Styles' career. He was sick of all the old-timers overstaying their welcome, chasing one more moment after another. Those moments, well, they belong to him now. He's the moment maker, the career ender. He said Goldberg chased after a moment, and, well, he took Goldberg out. Cena chased after moments this whole year, and, well, he took him out, made him tap out. And now Styles has his idea for a long, emotional farewell tour. Ain't going to happen. He's going to end it before it even gets started. Gunther noted, Cole, you're an old-timer as well. When are you going to walk away and hang it up? Don't do it too soon, though, because I want you sitting ringside so you can watch when I end AJ Styles' career. He said he could kick the chair out and end Cole right now, but that's not what he's going to do, because he wants him here. He wants him to see him end the phenomenal career of AJ Styles. I thought Gunther was freaking amazing here. What'd you think?
That is pretty good. If they do the whole route of like him retiring people, AJ's most likely next. Do you think they have him retire Brock at like, let's say, SummerSlam?
100%. I mean, what better way to put Gunther over as the next big monster than have him beat the 20-year monster Brock Lesnar?
I'm curious to know what they do with him at Mania. That's the big thing.
Yeah, I have no clue what Gunther does at Mania. Like, who can he retire at Mania?
Or just have a regular singles match against.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Like who's that like big baby face that can try to be a hero and just face Gunther at Mania?
Oh, Femi.
Yeah, but you can't have Obafemi lose though, because you gotta have Gunther win at Mania.
I mean, Gunther's in a position where he doesn't have to win everything. I mean, Mania he should. Yeah, you don't want him losing Mania 2 years in a row.
What if they have him face Randy at Mania? Be like, I'm the new legend killer.
That's an interesting one. I have been thinking like career killer is a bad name because you have Randy Orton legend killer. I kind of been like, it's not that original.
Or I beat the original legend killer, so now I have that throne almost.
The legend killer versus the career killer. I mean, it works. It works.
I mean, they had a good match at Ash in Berlin.
Well, that, and they had the King of the Ring match, which was great, other than the messed up finish. But those two work very well together.
I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah, I don't know. Think about it while we talk about Finn Balor backstage.
I think we have a bit donation, actually.
Do we? Oh, we do have one. What do you think some of the matches for CM Punk is going to be in the 2K showcase?
Wasn't the rumor like we're going to get like some CM Punk dream matches if Punk didn't leave WWE in 2014?
So according to Mike Straw of Insider Gaming, there are 3 different categories in the CM Punk showcase. There are Punk's greatest matches, or his favorite matches he's ever had in WWE. There's the what if matches. What if Punk never left WWE? What matches could we have had between 2014 and 2024, 23, whenever he came back? And then there's the fantasy dream matches that just never could have happened. I think one you got to do is him and Austin. You do him and Austin.
Him and Austin. That was like a WWE All Stars match.
Well, because they teased
you remember that one?
They teased it in the build up for 2K13 or whatever it was.
Do you remember that? Remember when WWE All Stars did the whole like story mode with like they did Ultimate Warrior versus Sheamus. They did the whole role model thing, like when CM Punk was straight edge society Punk. Like who's the better role model, him or Stone Cold? What one match they really should do if they're doing the whole like what if Punk never left, him versus Bray Wyatt.
That'd be a cool one. You gotta do him.
You do him versus Demon Finn Balor.
Him and Roman.
Yeah. Like those 3 are like, as far as like favorite matches he had.
How do you do
him versus Cena? You gotta do.
How do you do 2011 Money in the Bank? You gonna show Vince and Del Rio?
I don't know if they'd do that. I think they'd probably just have him just win it and not do like the whole Vince and Del Rio thing.
But I mean, that's a big part of the match. John punching Vince and then Del Rio trying to cash in. I mean, that is a big part of that match. So we'll see. It should be fun.
What if they did this? What if they did another dream match? CM Punk versus Triple H at WrestleMania 30.
The match we were supposed to get?
Yeah.
That's probably on there.
Match we were supposed to get but never happened. Or what are some other ones? Like you could probably do Punk versus Ray when Punk was like straight edge society Punk.
Oh, you're talking about like yeah. I thought you were still talking about what if matches.
Like if we're going like matches that happened, you gotta do Punk versus Ray at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
or like Over the Limit when Ray cut his hair.
I'm trying to think what else we could see.
Punk versus Undertaker, WrestleMania 29.
Yes, you can't do the Bryan Danielson match. That's unfortunate.
You can't do him versus Jeff Hardy, which that was a great one.
Well, you maybe if like
unless they put Jeff Hardy in the game as like a deluxe edition.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If maybe somehow 2K cuts a deal with the Hardys, like not a TNA thing, it's just they cut a deal with the Hardys to put them in, that makes it possible. I think TNA would maybe have to agree to and allow it, but I could see it happening.
I'm trying to think some other ones you could do as like long hair Punk.
Well, because you're thinking like, the ladder match at SummerSlam, right? With him and Jeff?
Well, that and like that SmackDown Steel Cage one where Jeff put his career on the line.
I totally forgot about that match.
But you gotta put that one in there.
So many good matches. Like this is a whole other podcast in itself, predicting what matches Punk should have in his showcase.
Well, if they did, and I mean, this one's not going to happen, but like they could do him versus Jericho at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think
him versus Randy. Remember when Randy hit that like big RKO on Punk at Mania?
Yeah, 27, I think it was. But no, I think it's too late to put Jericho in the game at this point.
It is, but what were some other Punk ones?
Because him and Jericho had that great feud. Remember when Jericho knocked him out? I think it was on a SmackDown. Knocked him out and poured the bottle of alcohol all over him.
Remember when Jericho got in that liquor basket and he caught Punk drinking? They tried to do like walk in a straight line and say the alphabet backwards.
Yeah.
And if he failed, he would get stripped of the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And then no, they did the whole thing of like your mom drank while she was pregnant with you. So you're already a deadbeat alcoholic.
I loved that. Jericho at that time was so good. Heel Jericho there was so good.
I mean, I don't remember much of it because I didn't really care for like going back to like WWE like during that time. I just didn't really care for it. I mean, it was good when I was a kid, but like going back to, I was like, man, this wasn't really that entertaining. Besides the whole Punk versus Daniel Bryan stuff, they're trying to fight for AJ Lee's love almost. And they're trying to make Big Show like this huge giant.
Yeah.
Having feud with Cena.
But no,
honestly, like the two superstars carrying WWE during that time was Punk and Cena.
Oh, 100%. Like no doubt about that.
They were literally carrying WWE.
Oh, for sure.
Like I liked Randy, and I thought Sheamus was like a cool world champion. He got over with the kids.
Well, yeah, on the top at that time was Cena and Punk at the top for sure. And then like right under them was like Edge, Randy, Triple H. Maybe you could throw Sheamus in there. Maybe Sheamus just a little bit under them. But that's like I
was talking like 2012 though.
Triple H was still kind of up there at that point. He was still wrestling.
Edge wasn't. Edge was retired. Triple H was up there.
Oh yeah, Edge retired at 11. You're thinking I'm thinking right before. I'm thinking like 10. I'm thinking more 2010.
2012 it was easily still Cena and Punk.
Oh yeah.
And then like right below it was like Triple H, like Randy, Sheamus.
Yeah.
Some would say maybe Ryback because Ryback got over pretty well in 2012.
Ain't wrong there, unfortunately.
Big Show was a big dominant heel like towards the end of 2012 when he won the world championship.
Him and Mark Henry and Bryan doing all their stuff.
Mark Henry, Hall of Pain.
Somebody gonna get the wig
split. I didn't even know about this story. And Mark Henry talked about how Vince pulled a prank on him because Vince wanted him to like be more like dangerous or more aggressive. So like Vince pulled a prank on him, said you're gonna have a match, and then nobody showed up for the match. His opponent never showed up. So like Mark Henry got like really angry.
Yeah, no, Mark said that Vince wanted him to be more aggressive and he just wouldn't or something like that. And so Vince pulled a prank on him to piss him off like purposely to see if he can make him be more aggressive. Yeah, no, that's a great story.
Because like that was during the time where like he called it like the big Kool-Aid era because he was wearing those red tights.
Yep.
He felt like WWE kind of reached his peak with him. So Vince wanted him to like make a change to make him more like angry. That's what started the whole Hall of Pain thing.
Yeah. Remember, guys, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can donate a super chat on YouTube or Twitch bits over on Twitch. And we go backstage with Finn Balor once again. He goes to Adam Pearce and goes, I'm ready. I'm ready to get back at that world title. I'm going to enter the Royal Rumble. And Pearce is like, sorry to tell you, guy, but that's not possible anymore. You're waiting to the last minute, the week of, to declare for the Rumble? It's full. I have no spots open, unfortunately. And Finn's like, what? He's like, yeah. The Rumble's going to happen without you this year because you took too long to declare. You didn't tell me you wanted to be in. And Balor left all mad. He bumps into Liv Morgan, and Liv's like, what are we doing? What is all this? You have this match with CM Punk last week, and then you let him raise your hand like it's a participation trophy, and then you thank him for the match? Like, what is that? That's not what we are in the Judgment Day. She says she heard Punk say that he should leave the Judgment Day. Punk didn't really want him to be a champion. So why not stay with your family, the people that really have your back? Balor said this isn't as straightforward as you think. I think they're really pushing this Finn babyface turn coming soon. I mean, Finn versus Dom for the IC title at WrestleMania. Boom, book it. There you go.
No, did you see in WWE Unreal the original plan for Dominic at Mania was supposed to be like him versus Demon Finn Balor for the IC title
Last year?
like the last SummerSlam.
Oh, I totally missed that.
They were revealing like some of the matches that were originally supposed to happen. I think one of them was like Braun Breaker versus Roman, like in the singles
match. Are you
match.
talking about like from the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Let me cut you off there. I was told by somebody, don't believe everything on the whiteboard. It says what they want you to say, or it says what they want you to think. Not everything on that whiteboard is actually what they were, quote unquote,
like there were some
planning.
pitches.
Yeah, no.
There were like pitches.
There were some things they wrote on the whiteboards just to screw with fans during like the show, just to make fans think that's what we could have done. When all I was told was not everything on the whiteboard was actually ever a thing. Some things got wrote on the whiteboard just for Unreal and to see how the fans would react. That's what I was told. And I think I heard Brian Alvarez say something similar to that as well. So Jey Uso enters after ahead of a commercial break. No Jimmy. I guess he still can't leave the country or not allowed to go to these international countries. He was nowhere on the European tour, not in Canada. So Jey got to do everything by himself. And yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, if you get DUI, you can't like go to Canada.
Well, I think he's had so many he can't leave the country. Jimmy's had multiple DUIs.
Well, Jimmy, I know he was in Saudi for a couple times.
Well, that's the thing. Is Jimmy gonna be in the Rumble? Because I don't know what's going on with the whole Jimmy. Because all they said on Raw tonight was Jimmy's got some personal things he's taking care of. That's why he's not here. It's like, well, he hasn't been here for a freaking month. So we had a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Winners get a future shot at the World Tag Team Champions. This was fine. I mean, it wasn't anything super special. It was a fine match. Excuse me. So all the teams were just going at it early on. You could tag in and out anybody you want. During a break, Xavier Woods confronted Michael Cole at the desk and told him, quote, I am Xavier, and that's Kofi. Get it right from here out. And Cole responded with, what are you talking about? I don't know what Woods was talking about either. Like, why would Woods go up to Cole and say, I'm Xavier, he's Kofi? I was as confused as Michael Cole. I don't think you saw that because you were watching the US feed, huh?
Weren't you like 10 minutes behind though on my end?
No. I was behind on Raw, but I'm saying, did you? What was the word I'm looking for? You watched the US feed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't see anything during commercial breaks, so you wouldn't have saw Xavier Woods confront Michael Cole and be like, "I'm Xavier, that's Kofi." I don't understand any of that. But at this point, I was still live. I was only behind because when the main event started, I paused it for a little bit because I had some stuff to do, and then I came back to it. So I was only behind during the main event. The crowd didn't react much when Otis got tagged in, which is not a good sign since Otis and Tozawa won. Otis hit the caterpillar elbow and the cover was broken up. Everybody attacked Otis, so Akira Tozawa made the save. And Corey Graves is like, at one time, Akira Tozawa was one of the most sought-after free agents in all of professional wrestling. I'm like, really? Okay. There was also a big thing with Michael Cole didn't know which one was Bravo and which one was Ryo. And so he's like, you're the guy that leads us with AAA. You tell me which is which, Corey. And Bravo hit Tozawa with a German suplex. Tozawa then wiped out all three teams with the Big L suicide dive. Tozawa then set up Kofi for a diving senton, but was distracted the referee.
I want to cut you off real quick.
Go.
Did you watch the AAA stuff over the weekend?
This past weekend, no.
Who the heck is Mini Vikingo? Why the first time I'm seeing this?
Wait, Mini Vikingo?
Or like they have like some mini version of a wrestler. I don't know if it's like mini like Vikingo.
Well, they have minis in AAA.
This is the first time I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, no, they have minis in AAA.
They have a mini Viking, like a mini of like every like wrestler that they have.
No,
like they have mini Vikingo.
Do they?
There is a mini Vikingo.
Interesting. I haven't seen the mini Vikingo.
Look about it. It's real. They did mini Vikingo versus Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr.
I'm looking it up right now. Oh yeah, I see it here. Interesting. But is he really a, what the hell? He's a 15-year-old boy? Is that what this is saying? Mini Vikingo, 15 years old. What? That's kind of cool.
15-year-old kid.
Yeah. I wonder if he's related to Vikingo or not. But no, they have real minis in AAA as well. They have I can't think of his name now all of a sudden. It is also, I think there might be some AAA wrestlers in 2K26.
Vikingo and
so
Mr. Iguana.
Yeah, because in the first like tease, so if you go to the 2K26 website and you like tap on it to break the glass, I guess you would say is what they're doing. It's like it reveals a picture of a desk and there's like a picture of an iguana on the desk. No, I'm trying to find the roster for CMLL. I mean, not CMLL, it's AAA. Trying to figure out who, because there's minis. I just can't remember who.
I think I knew they had like minis in AAA. I didn't know they had like a mini Vikingo.
Yeah, I didn't know about mini Vikingo either. Why can't I
He's
find?
a 15-year-old kid. I didn't know that. Is that even allowed?
I mean, in Mexico, sure. Ray was like 15 when he started wrestling down there. Hold on. There we go. The minis are Mascarada Sagrada, La Parquita, and they have a... Yeah, because Mascarada Sagrada, there's like a mini Octagon as well.
So they basically have minis of like certain wrestlers.
Oh, wait, no. The mini Octagon was from back in the day. Never mind. That's not current. But no, they do have... Mascarita Sagrada is really good. Anyways. Get back over here. The notes. Where was I? Tozawa set up Kofi Kingston for a diving senton, but Woods distracted the referee. Referee then admonished Grayson Waller for trying to get involved. Jay then super kicked Waller over the barricade. Otis then beat up the other team single-handedly, slammed Julius onto Brutus. At one point, Brutus did do a Brutus ball to the floor onto the pile. Tozawa then followed this up with a diving senton on Julius and picked up the victory. Alpha Academy are getting a tag title shot. Didn't see that one coming at all. Any thoughts on Alpha Academy becoming the new number one contenders for the tag titles?
I thought it was going to be the El Grande Americanos.
Really? Not the New Day? I thought it was going to be the New Day.
I thought it was either going to be the New Day or the El Grande Americanos, because like El Grande Americano, he's hot. Like,
oh yeah, no,
like,
especially in Mexico, like they love him down there.
So like, you could have done maybe the El Grande Americanos getting a title shot just to make him like try to get him a little bit over. I mean,
right.
I don't see them ever winning the tag titles ever.
No.
I mean, I don't know. When do you think they'll like have them like all three like take the mask off?
It's a good question. I have probably when it's no longer getting the megastar reaction in either. So
it's probably not going to end for a while though in Mexico. I'm going to say that.
Here's the thing. Chad Gable's ready to return.
What, they have him come back as like another El Grande,
and then you do El Grande versus El Grande,
and he had
mask versus mask, El Grande versus El Grande.
So you're basically doing like another whole Sin Cara versus Sin Cara.
Yeah, sure.
Remember that?
Yeah. What was it, Sin Cara versus Sin Cara Negro?
Yeah. And then the Sin Cara, like other version of Sin Cara was Hunico.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, like when they originally released like Mystico, who was the original Sin Cara, they replaced him with Hunico.
Yep. So Jackie Redmond interviewed Becky Lynch in the back. She's wearing a Maple Leafs jacket. Lynch called her win last week monumental, but Redmond wouldn't know anything about monumental as far as that jacket she's wearing. Lynch then noted that Natalya going crazy after the match was kind of cool. Lynch understood it because Natty trained Dupree and got nothing from it. She compared it to training the loser Lyra. Now Natalya was coming after her title, but Natalya would have to win the Rumble first, and that was pretty laughable. So Becky's trying to claim that the Rumble winner would choose her over one of the world champions. Lynch then said that she's entering the Rumble. Kyrie saying, then they got weird. So Lynch said, I'm entering the Rumble. Then Kyrie comes up. Asuka's standing next to her. And Kyrie's like, oh, Asuka's going to win the Rumble, not you. And Becky's kind of just like, yeah, nope, that ain't going to happen. I'm going to win the Rumble. Asuka ain't winning. No, none of that's happening. Tell her. And she's like, Asuka. Becky says, and Asuka's like, I heard her. I know what she said. I'm standing right here. Asuka cut her off and told Lynch, I'll see you in the Rumble. She walks off and then does the Kyrie. And Kyrie Zane has to do the, get scared and run. Cool. Okay. You know, I would love to just see Asuka versus Becky for that IC title, though. Holy crap. That'd be
They've
great.
had good singles matches against each other.
Yes, they have.
Do you remember, like in 2020, like when Asuka won Money in the Bank and they did a whole thing like Becky was pregnant, she had to relinquish the belt, and they said, well, the Money in the Bank match, it wasn't for just the briefcase. It was actually for the Women's World Championship.
Yep, because Becky had to go away. Javon Evans approached AJ Styles in the back as he was warming up and was like, man, hopefully your career don't end on Saturday because I want to be one of these guys that gets to face you in your last year. And AJ was like, well, you know, I'd love that. And they shook hands. Sevita Vakira then told Adam Pearce, I've got a belt. Raquel wants to fight or wants a shot, but I don't want a regular match. I want to fight next week. And Pearce was like, you know what? You got it. Put the title on the line against Raquel next week in a Philadelphia street fight. I'm like, oh, okay. How much Judgment Day gets involved in this one?
A lot.
Right.
Unless they have Liv Morgan like screw her over.
Possible.
Oh, do you really think they kick Raquel out just like that instead of trying to kick out Liv or
here's the
Roxanne?
Weird. So I would have thought maybe they kick Raquel out, but now they're also teasing Finn. I don't think they both leave. I don't think two members leave.
Well, last time two members left, it was Damian and
right
Rhea. What if they do the whole thing of like Finn's trying to get the world title or Raquel's trying to get the world title and they kick both of them out because like you're trying to be greedy, just like Damian was and just like Rhea.
I wouldn't go that far because Liv's already done the thing where she's like, Raquel's going to be the world champion. Roxy and I are going to be tag team champions. Daddy Dom's got the IC title. So it's like they've already done the thing where they want everyone to have gold. Like Liv's already said it. So that wouldn't make too much sense. So we got the card for the Royal Rumble. Remember, the Royal Rumble does start this weekend at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. That'd be 1 Central Time. It's an early Rumble. They're in that Saudi Arabia. We had AJ Styles versus Gunther with AJ Styles' career on the line. Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship against Sami Zayn. A 30-man Rumble, 1 for the men, 1 for the women. I've seen a lot of people say that Sami should win the belt because they're in Saudi. I think Sami should win the belt in Saudi next year at WrestleMania. That's my prediction. Let Sami heat up 1 more year.
I thought what they could have done, this was a missed opportunity. Remember that like the second week after Mania last year, they did that whole like thing with like the Vision and Sami Zayn. They kept teasing that maybe at next year's Mania they were gonna do Seth versus Sami for the world title and have Sami win.
Mm-hmm.
If Seth wasn't injured, they probably could have still done that.
I doubt it because before Seth got hurt, the plan was Seth and Roman for the belt.
Which that probably would made it even more sense. But
what the plan from what the rumors are, and no one's ever really gonna fucking know, but the rumor was Seth loses the belt to Roman at Mania. The Vision loses confidence in him, and then they beat him up, just like they already did. They basically fast forwarded all that by 8 months.
Well, there was also a rumor that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed were going to win the tag titles as well. And they were going to have Austin Theory just join them for like War Games.
I saw that one, but it wasn't from a credible source. So that's the whole thing with that.
Well, I think Braun and Bronson Reed win the tag belts was probably make a lot of sense.
I mean, it would have.
Like have them win the tag belts and then they lose them at Mania. Then Seth loses the world title at Mania. And then they lose confidence in Seth.
Here's my thing. Seth getting hurt was a horrible thing, of course. But because of that, it led to Logan Paul being added to the Vision, and Logan's actually been really good as part of this group. Which is something.
He has, but like
it's something that wasn't going to happen if Seth was still there, though.
But here's the terrible thing, though, and it definitely would have like if Seth was like never got hurt, they actually could have like had Roman get his like redemption of like, yeah, Paul Heyman turned on him and joined like Seth, and then the next year's Mania he finally gets his like revenge on Seth after all those years because Seth stabbed him in the back so many times with the Shield and the Paul Heyman thing, and then it would be like, yeah, if Roman finally gets his revenge on Seth after all those years on the biggest stage.
Exactly.
Because like I think WrestleMania 32, I mean, we're never gonna know this. Like, what if it was supposed to be like Roman versus Seth for the world title? Because like Seth cashed in on Roman the year before.
I could see it.
And they could have done, and that maybe the original plan for that WrestleMania 32 was Roman versus Seth.
Possibly, it would make sense instead of going Roman Triple H.
I mean, well, that was also a tough year because like Sheamus had the briefcase. Like, maybe they could have had Sheamus do a failed cash in. I don't know. But
hold on. Arc Raiders adding a 1v4 mode. What the hell would that be? Chase in the chat says Arc Raiders adding a 1v4 mode tomorrow. Looks like we're streaming some Arc Raiders tomorrow. Anyways, what the heck's a 1v4 mode for Arc Raiders? I don't understand what could that mode be? I don't know. Sorry to cut you off there, but that kind of caught me by surprise because I didn't see that. Anyways, yeah, no, 2016 was an interesting year. Because then they did the thing at Money in the Bank where all 3 members or former members of the Shield were the champion in the same night.
Yeah, like honestly, that was just like, well, and they also kind of had to like wrap up the Authority thing as well after Mania 2016 because they took everybody out.
I still remember where I
Like,
was watching that Money in the Bank. I was in a car driving back from Disneyland.
because remember, like the only people left in the authority really was like Triple H and Stephanie. I guess they didn't really have another authority left.
No.
Like, how did Big Show leave? Did Big Show just leave on his own?
Honestly, I have no recollection of how they broke up the authority. I don't remember any of that.
Well, I remember they took J&J Security off television after like Brock laid them all out.
Yeah.
Kane, I guess like Kane was like upset at Seth because Seth basically broke his ankle. And then he did the whole thing at Hell in a Cell, like for the world title. If Kane lost, then he's no longer the director of operations and he has to leave the authority.
Okay. See, I don't remember any of this.
And then like that was also because Kane lost to Seth, and I guess like the next week they did like a whole like live event tour where they did this when Seth got injured and tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
It was that match they did. It was him versus Kane for the world title at a live event, and Seth tore his ACL and he had to relinquish the belt.
Moving forward, the Vision met backstage. Just basically, we talked about this earlier. Logan Paul said that somebody from the Vision needs to win the Rumble, and he thinks that person should be Braun Breaker. Theory and Reed also agree, and basically, they're going to do what they can to make sure Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, we got a video package claiming that Obafemi is coming in the Rumble. This then leads us to our main event of the night. AJ Styles challenging a CM Punk for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I thought these two had a hell of a match until the crap finish. A Finn DQ finish. Go for it.
Before someone in the Twitch chat says CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan over the limit. Great match, but I don't think they'll ever put Bryan in at all, which obviously not. He's an AEW.
No. He's an AEW and like super close with Tony Khan. That ain't going to happen.
Who was it? It's CM Punk versus The Rock at the Rumble.
Oh, I can see that one. Well, Rock won that, though. Are they going to have matches in this that Punk lost?
Well, for like the Bloodline like thing last year, didn't they have like matches where Roman lost? Or like matches where like certain. I mean, the one with Tamina for God's sake, they had Tamina. They showed the one where Tamina was in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't really do anything else. That just shows you they did nothing with Tamina with all her time in WWE.
Oh, yeah, no. Tamina, the biggest thing she ever did was she was the muscle for AJ Lee. That was the biggest thing she did her entire time in WWE.
She was the muscle for AJ Lee, and I guess she had a match against Paige for the Divas title.
Yeah. But other than that, and she's still technically on the roster. Like, if you go to WWE's website, let me see.
Would you even say that she's still like a wrestler, or maybe she's like an ambassador at this point?
I have no clue because hold on. Let me see something here. I'm going to look at two different things. We are going to look at. So Tamina is still on the roster, and her last match was. The last match, whoa, that can't be right. Oh, yeah, it is. Her last match was on a main event in 2023 where she lost to Michin. She was in the 2023 Rumble. So that was the whole thing where they were talking about her retiring. And Nia was not signed to the company at that time, but was in that Rumble because she wanted to be in it with Tamina. And so she asked to, if the company would bring her back for that one Rumble, because it'll be Tamina's last Rumble. And yeah, I remember that because Nia made a big deal about it.
I remember during the time of WrestleMania 35, Nia Jax had like a ruptured ACL, and her and Tamina were supposed to be competing for the women's tag titles. I guess Nia knew that like she was injured going into the match, but I guess she knew like if WWE like knew about her injury, they would take both of them out of the match.
She didn't want that for Tamina. Yeah, that was the whole thing.
Yeah, she didn't want Tamina to like miss her like WrestleMania moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. When it comes to family, Nia's all about family for sure.
Oh yeah.
But as we move forward, talking about this main event, and pretty good match, pretty great match. There was some dueling chants early on for both men. They went for their finishers early, but nothing really came of it. There was a series of counters that led to Styles applying a cradle for a 2. Punk then got the better of the next exchange and hit Styles with an elbow and a chop to the upper back. Styles then came back with a drop kick. Punk fell outside, and Styles nailed a sliding knee. Styles then was in control through a break until Punk wiped him out hard into the corner after a break. The crowd then chanted for tables. Punk followed with a neck breaker and a lifting knee strike, a bulldog, and a shining wizard for a 2. Styles at one point blocked a GTS attempt and followed up with the fireman's carry neck breaker for a 2. Punk tried to go for a shining wizard after AJ tried to go for a Styles clash. Styles then caught him and set up for a Styles clash again. Punk avoided it. Styles then dumped him from the ring. Punk then blocked a sliding knee and hit a GTS. Punk initially tried getting Styles into the ring, but it was taking too long. So Punk slipped back into the ring, and they got an 8 count before AJ got back in. Or 8 or 9, something like that. Oh, no. That's what okay. Punk got in at 8. AJ got in at 9. That's how it is. I wrote it differently, but I wrote there was an 8-9 count. Anyways, Styles was selling, and Punk wasn't sure what to do next. So Styles suddenly just caught him with the Styles clash for a near fall. It was kind of weird. Styles then went for phenomenal forearm, but Punk knocked him off the ropes. They exchanged some strikes until AJ hit a Pele kick. Styles tried to set it for another Styles clash again, but Punk got him on the shoulders of him and went for a GTS. Styles then held onto the ropes, and the two kind of just struggled for position until, well, Finn Balor would pop up out of nowhere, drop kick Punk into the corner, and cause the DQ. Balor then drop kicked Punk into the barricade and gave him a coup de grace in the ring. Punk then rolled to his side, so Balor hit a coup de grace and basically landed right on his ribs. Balor then hit the move one more time and stood tall as the show went off the air after this 18-minute match. Whew. Great match, but what the hell are you doing with Finn here? And where are we getting this Finn Punk rematch? Or is it going to lead to Finn AJ if AJ beats Gunther? That's the big question.
Maybe I think we could get Finn versus AJ on SmackDown.
I mean, maybe. We really need that match one more time before AJ retires, though.
We do. Honestly, just do it on SmackDown and be like, they're both on SmackDown. AJ like sees Finn, they're like you cost me the world title. Like what if like Saturday's my last match ever and like such. So like I want my revenge on Finn.
I could see it. But that would be
let's
something.
Do this match one more time.
So that would have to be something that they set up in like the middle of the week on social media, though. It wouldn't be something you could set up on SmackDown.
I mean, you still could.
But well, no, because the big question would be like, why would both AJ and Finn be there? If Finn's told you're not in the Rumble, why would Finn even fly to Saudi Arabia in the first place then? You know what I mean?
Maybe he's trying to like talk to Nick Aldis. Maybe it's like, hey, Adam Pearce filled the Rumble on his end. Is there any spots from SmackDown?
Well, no. Pearce said all 30 spots are taken. There's no open slot.
Unless he like goes to Nick Aldis and they're like, can you take someone out for me?
I don't see that happening. That's just kind of bullshit there. Like that would be the heel of all heel moves on the GM's part. Like that would make Nick Aldis a heel GM.
No, but like, what if he like tries to sweet talk him, but he fails?
I get where you're coming from, but I don't see it. But with that, guys, you know what we thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw as we checked the polls. As far as the Threads poll does go, 73% liked the show, 18% thought it was just all right, and 9% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 42% liked the show, 42% thought it was just all right, and 15% didn't like it. As far as the community poll, 81% liked the show, 12% thought it was just all right, and 7% didn't like it. And finally, the live poll, 75% liked the show, 21% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here, twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at PetGamer_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, have a great rest of your night, and we'll be back on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Have a good one, guys.